Everyone has something that they are naturally good at, inherently good at. Yes, even you are inherently good at something. And I promise you, if you take advantage of it, you will be a better person. Now me, my inherent ability did need a little bit of work. I'm brutally honest. Sometimes to a fault. Seriously, I've lost friends, I've lost jobs, I've missed out on opportunities because my brutal honesty was mistaken as being rude or just completely disrespectful as for what it is. Now, I've honed that ability to be able to, if you stick around for long enough with me, you will be a better person, no matter what it is, ladies and gentlemen. I am so serious. If you stay around me for long enough, you will be a better person. Let me give you an example that's not necessarily really heartfelt, but just a little example of what I can do. I started playing Overwatch a year later from all of my friends. We were all silver. I hated it. I want to be top 500. So I gave them the brutal honesty business. Look, guys, we suck. We need to get better. A couple months later, we're all in at least plat. Now, if you guys can't tell me that that's not an inherent trait for me to make people better through my brutal honesty, then I don't know what to tell you. Some traits people have to develop on themselves. Like you're not necessarily good at, but you have to work on. Everyone has this problem. Yes, even you have this problem too. You're not naturally good at everything. These traits, such as me actually being nice to people or trying to hold my tongue and realizing when to say certain things, it doesn't come natural. I'm serious. It doesn't come natural for me to be a nice guy. A goofy guy, a funny guy, yes, easy. A nice guy, kind of hard because brutal honesty could be seen as rude depending on who you are. That's amazing that I can relate this to Yu-Gi-Oh! Because once you start realizing that inherent Yu-Gi-Oh! Summons are different from other types of special summons, that's how you'll be able to decipher what you can stop with cards like Thunder King Ryo, like I stated in my previous video. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, then go and destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go ahead and hit that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. I also want to give this time to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible, and I appreciate you guys' continued support. So without further ado, I present to you how inherent summons actually work. And yes, guys, I'm serious. You are good at something. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I do not like the term inherent summon. Why? Because I personally feel once you stop calling cards inherent summons, then you have to stop trying to identify which is an inherent summon and then identify from there on out. I like using the term monster special summon that doesn't activate and monster special summon that does activate. Now, it does a lot more words than just inherent summon, but I swear, once you guys start thinking like this, it will immediately snap like that and you will understand what cards you can and can't stop at certain points in time. But because everybody does use the form inherent summon, I will use it to better relate to you guys, to try to get you guys to transition from that word to the other two ways so you guys can identify cards better. Now, the definition of an inherent summon is quite simple. And once again, once you guys stop using inherent and just start classifying it what it is, it'll actually be a lot easier for you, at least in my opinion. An inherent summon is a built-in special summon that doesn't activate its effect. Now, there are 3 different types of these inherent summons or summons that don't activate their effects, and I'll be able to break them down for you. The first one I'm going to be talking to you guys about is the summon through a game mechanic. Now, these inherent summons are quite natural. Any monster that is synchro summoned, Exceed summoned, pendulum summoned, link summoned, or contact fusion summon, like summoning Gladiator Beast Geyserus, are all summoning by a game mechanic. Now, in order to perform these type of summons, you have to declare you are doing the certain procedure and then follow up with the said procedure. So for an example, you declare you are making an Exceed summon by overlaying 2 monsters with the same level on the top of each other and then going through your extra deck and finding the appropriate Exceed monster and placing it on top of the monster. Same thing for contact fusion. You reveal those 2 monsters on your side of the field and then follow the procedures of the fusion monster. For example, Gladiator Beast Geyserus requires you to shuffle them to your deck, and then you special summon the monster to your side of the field. Now, if you guys want an in-depth detail on how to perform a specific summon, whether it's Exceed, Synchro, Fusion, Link, or pendulum, then go ahead and post down below in the comment section that you guys want to see it. As well as be sure to give this video a like, because I'm telling you, it's a little harder than you guys think. Now, another summoning by condition, these are not cards that activate their effects, but allow you to summon themselves to the side of the field once you fulfill a certain condition, are monsters like Photon Thrasher or Dark Arm Dragon. Now, these monsters specifically cannot be normal summoned or set. They must be special summoned to your side of the field by fulfilling a condition. Also, keep in mind that these cards do not have a colon or a semicolon as a part of their summoning condition, so they do not activate their effects upon being summoned. Now, I hope you guys are following me really closely, because we are halfway there. We've already talked about monsters that can be summoned or that don't activate their effects when summoned, like game mechanics, such as monsters being summoned from the extra deck, as well as monsters that say cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned by fulfilling a certain condition, and do not have a colon or a semicolon. Pay close attention, because these next two do not have a semicolon or a colon in its card text when it comes to summoning the monster, and therefore they do not activate when they are summoning, thus making them inherent special summons. Now, the next way is just by an effect that does not activate, period. The monster can be summoned to your side of the field, but does not activate its effect because it doesn't have a colon or semicolon. These monsters can also be normal summoned or set. So a good example is cards like Cyber Dragon and Junk Forward. Unlike cards like Photon Thrasher and Dark Arm Dragon, these monsters can be normal summoned or set in the regular methods of playing Yu-Gi-Oh! By normal game mechanics. But they also have a built-in effect to special summon themselves to the side of the field that doesn't contain a colon or a semicolon, meaning that these monsters are inherent effects and can just plop themselves to the side of the field without activating. Now, the last way is a little bit murkier. These monsters are like Constellar Pullix and Gymnite Seraph Knight. They are classified as unclassified effects. They're not trigger, they're not ignition, they're not quick effects. And for the people that don't know what any of that I just said, just post down below in the comment section that you want to see a video understanding on how card effects works. And also be sure to like this video, because again, it did take a lot of time to do. It's actually kind of mind-boggling myself. These monsters have the ability to summon monsters to your side of the field without activating effects, which is why you can't use cards like Solemn Strike to Gymnite Seraph Knight. But before I go a little bit into that, let me just take a second to recuperate so I can explain to you how all of these inherent cards work. Alright guys, so to wrap up all of the inherent summon monsters, your opponent cannot respond to the declaration of the summon of the monster. So for example, if I declare I am Exceed summoned, my opponent can't respond to that. You can't activate Max C and my declaration of me putting two cards together to Exceed summon, nor can you activate cards like Max C or any card effects in me special summoning Cyber Dragon. The monster just summons itself to the side of the field, and that's it. But that's actually where the most simplest part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Comes in. If the monster does not contain a colon or a semicolon, it does not activate. Meaning monsters like Thunder King Ryo, Black Horn of Heaven can negate the summon and send it to the graveyard. It is that simple. I almost feel bad for wasting you guys' time, or at least I feel like I wasted you guys' time explaining this to you guys, because I could have just posted it up. If the monster does not have a colon or a semicolon, cards like Thunder King Ryo can negate the summon and send it to the graveyard. Now, I am kind of fortunate that I did make this video, because you guys are probably wondering, what cards can Thunder King Ryo or cannot Thunder King Ryo can't stop? And I actually have a detailed list for you guys to identify which cards he can and can't stop. Same thing with Solemn Strike. Now that you guys know what an inherent special summon, or monsters that don't activate their effects to summon themselves, finding out the rest of this video is really simple. Now, if you guys don't understand it, I strongly advise you to go back to the beginning of the video and listen to my words really slowly. If it doesn't have a colon or semicolon in its summoning condition or summoning method, then it doesn't activate. Also, if it's a monster like Cyber Dragon and BLS, then it doesn't activate to summon itself. If it's an Exceed summon, a Synchro summon, it doesn't activate itself to summon itself. It is an inherent special summon. The other cards are simple too. Once you realize that, this is really easy. Any monster that has a semicolon or a colon in its summoning condition activates to summon itself. Cards like Burning Abyss monsters, all of them in the main board, Goki Suprex, it has a colon or a semicolon in its summoning condition to bring out another monster. Trickstar Lycoris and Mystic Tomato all have that semicolon or colon in their summoning condition, meaning that your opponent has an opportunity to respond to the card before the monster actually hits the field. Unlike inherent summons, your opponent has no opportunity to respond to the card before it hits the field. I also want to clump in spell and trap cards like Call of the Hunted and Monster Reborn, because natively, spell and trap cards all activate and give your opponent a chance to respond before the monster hits the board. Now, this is gonna blow your mind, because you guys know the difference between what Thunder King Ryo can and can't negate, and it's really simple. Give me a second, I actually gotta take a little breath, because it's hard to explain, but once you guys understand it, it is so simple. Okay, so cards like Thunder King Ryo cannot stop the summon of these effects. Or, let's go even a little deeper, cards like Solemn Strike or Solemn Warning cannot stop the summon of those monsters, the monster actually hitting the field. Is because you cannot activate card effects in response to the resolution of an effect. Think about it, guys. I just said it. These monsters' effects activate, giving you guys an opportunity to respond before the monster is being summoned. That's right. That's it right there. Once you activate a card effect, your opponent has opportunity to respond. Then the card resolves, placing itself to the side of the field. Thunder King Ryo can negate the summon of a monster, but it can't negate the resolution because the card is already being placed on your side of the field. You guys don't get it? Let me give you an example. We're gonna go back a little bit. I summon a monster, Blackluster Soldier, to my side of the field. My opponent controls a Thunder King Ryo. You can use Thunder King Ryo's effect right then and there because a monster was summoned to my side of the field. It actually has the proper response window to negate the Cyber Dragon or Blackluster summon and send it to the graveyard. A card like Scar Malbrink of the Burning Abyss, I activate Malbrink's effect. That's when you can activate the card like Solemn Strike. But you can't activate cards like Thunder King Ryo because the monster hasn't hit the field yet. It's just activating its effect to hit the field. Then, once the monster hits the field, it's too late for Thunder King Ryo's effect to activate because it's the resolution of a card effect. Now, for the people that don't understand how activations and resolutions work, don't worry, I'll help you guys on that. It's actually perfectly fine if you don't understand that or don't understand this video because you don't understand how that works. Just let me know down below in the comment section that you guys want to see something like that, and I'll make a video about it. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of The Cali Effect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like, and if you didn't, let us know down below in the comment section what we could do to be better. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.